Jean-Andrew, greetings and welcome aboard my flagship, the USS ShadowStar, and to Deep Space Nine, for this Star Trek Online stats review. Please, before we begin, allow me to give a massive thank you to Negus, Dante Demonic, Skyhawkings, Tribal Typhoon, XG Blackbird, Travis Games, Spike, Captain Riggs, Miss Future Teach, Fox Plays Games, and Lord Arminger for their generosity and support of the channel. It is at their incredible generosity that I can invite you, please, now to take your seats, whether you are members of the Federation, the Klingon Empire, the Romulan Republic, or the Dominion. Please get comfortable, the replicators are ready, and allow me to introduce you to the ISS Strike Fast, my personal Mirror Engle Strike Wing Escort. Now, previously, if I was to review this ship, which I have not done in the past, I would have opened up this with a warning about gambling, as that's what I now do when it comes to ships that you primarily acquire through gambling mechanics, lockboxes or promo ships. But this ship has been taken out of the lockboxes, so to speak. Now, yes, you can technically still acquire this ship via lockbox, technically. However, this ship is part of the 12th anniversary Terran bundle. Unfortunately, Cryptic have not made it so that this 5th ship of the bundle could be acquired outside of the bundle, other than its lockbox, which means there are 2 ways to acquire this ship: via the lockbox or via the bundle. Whereas all the other 4 ships in the bundle can be acquired from the Zen store, the Mirror Engle cannot. However, no matter which way you acquire the Mirror Engle, you now get the new additions that the Mirror Engle comes with. This being the new skin for the Earhart class that you can see right now, as well as the Mirror Engle's Terran livery, as well as the original Earhart and the original Engle. You also, via the bundle itself, gain access to the other 4 ships, each of them worth £21 each. Let me note on this. And you gain certain Terran Empire costumes, titles, and few extra additions such as a Tier 6 coupon, experimental ship upgrades, Starship slots, master keys, and unlimited tech upgrades. Hell, if you're lucky with those 12 master keys, you may get another ship that's worth between £100 to £300, much like this ship is. See, because this ship was originally acquired through lockboxes, that's the value I give to it. And the typical lockbox cost is anywhere between £100 and £300 sterling. The bundle this ship comes in, however, while it's on sale at the moment, is only £80, and that's at 25% off, so it goes up to about £120. It's funny to say then that you are possibly purchasing this bundle at the value of this ship, but getting so much extra with it. On that note, just straight away, I will tell you that the bundle is well and truly worth getting. Not just for the ship, but because the other 4 ships that come with this are absolutely amazing. Honestly, if you want this ship, please do not gamble for it. Get it via this new bundle. Even at full price, it's still a good bundle and a bit of a steal. But you don't want to hear that, do you? Now we should get into what makes this ship so good. Acknowledging minor awkwardness at the same time. Why do I say minor? Well, I'm going to be honest here, I'm not playing nice. You want a direct comparison? Well, the Mirror Engle Strike-Wing Escort had better be better than the original Earhart in the Zen store. Yes it is. Oh yes it is. Let me put it this way. She may take away a bit of defense, but she adds defense. Let me see just how much you catch onto here. Let's talk the Earhart itself. The Earhart is a 1.05 with a 0.95 from hull modifier and shield modifier. Turn rate of 14, impulse modifier of 19, inertia rating of 70, with bonus power settings of 10 to weapons, plus 5 to engines and auxiliary. She came with, for the tactical officers, a commander and an ensign, a lieutenant engineering, a lieutenant commander science, and a universal lieutenant commander, which had command specialization, which was actually probably the biggest benefit of the Earhart itself. Same weapon layout, same device slots, having 4 tactical, 3 engineering, 3 science, 1 hangar bay, and it had the cascading gravimetric disruption console, which is actually a really damn good console. Also had the Pacific hangar pets to it, which was the Launch Class C shuttlecraft. We'll talk about that version of shuttlecraft as well as the mirror version that comes with the Mirror Earhart and the Mirror Engle. All in all, it sounded like a good ship for that Zen store. But here is the Mirror Engle, which I both question but approve of. It improves on the best areas. It definitely has a better, in my opinion, experimental weapon than the Earhart had. But the Mirror Engle does weaken a couple of areas too. So, okay, the ship that you are actually interested in, this one. The Mirror Engle is a tier 6 Strike-Wing Escort with a level 65 hull of 51,750, a hull modifier of 1.15, a shield modifier of 1.25, a turn rate of 14, impulse modifier of 0.18, inertia rating of 60. Still having the bonus power to weapons of plus 10, but reducing engines down so it can have extra to auxiliary, so it now has a plus 10 to auxiliary as well. It's still a 5-2 weapon layout with the ability to equip dual cannons. Has an experimental weapon, like I've noted, we'll talk about that in a bit. Is now a 5 tactical, 2 engineering and 4 science. Reduces 1 console in engineering to gain 1 in both science and tactical. 1 hangar bay. Has the cascading subatomic disruption, which is, ooh, yeah, interesting to talk about. The bridge officer layout of this ship then brings it all home with a, of course, commander tactical, but then a lieutenant engineering with intelligence specialization, a lieutenant commander science, as per same as the Earhart. The lieutenant commander universal is now a temporal seat. Kind of wish that stayed as command. And then you have, instead of a tactical ensign, you have a universal ensign. Honestly, this is good. I've actually kept my build similar to my Earhart in the case of this one. Didn't mean to do that, but at least I now know actually how they stack up against each other with very similar builds. Yes, the Mirror Engle performs a lot better. Overall, what it means is, against the Earhart and just in general, she has more defense, but slightly different maneuverability, though she does turn just as quickly. With similar offensive firepower, she's actually lost a bit of tactical DPS, but has gained more in the science DPS role. Having said that, as much as I say she's lost a bit of tactical DPS, she hasn't lost that much. Yes, the loss of command specialization is a fair bit of a blow to this ship, but it's not too bad, and I respect that for the ship. Overall, I feel like the mirror Engle has come out relatively well, and honestly, I'm not going to complain at that in that part. Now, a couple of things I really should talk about properly here, so if you give me 2 seconds. I thank you for your patience with the fleet. Now then, a couple of things to just quickly pull up on. First of all is going to be its trait, of course. We've got its console in question. We also have its hangar pets, but I don't want to just talk about those and not compare them against each other. Same as I don't want to not compare the experimental weapon against the opposing experimental weapon. So let's put those down here too. And then we also have the consoles against each other. So we're going to play fair here, okay? Give the Earhart class a fighting chance against the Strike Wing, because the Strike Wing was a lockbox, so no matter what, has to be performing better than the original Earhart, right? Right? Now I can't just straight up compare the traits so easily, but I will talk about superior area denial first. With Favourite Wheel or Scatter Volley, it will debuff the foes and apply to your pets a benefit. So, when activating either of those two abilities, it will grant Favourite Wheel 1 or Scatter Volley 1 to your hangar pets. It upgrades your energy weapons for 20 seconds, until your target that's hit gets a -30 to all damage resistances. Superior Area Denial is a 2-level trait. One, very beneficial to DPS, but beyond that, very, very beneficial to anyone who, like myself, likes to use carriers. It's not a meta trait, by all means, but it is 100% a choice trait for any, and I really do mean any, carrier build. I've actually been a little bit disappointed that up to now I haven't had this ship, and I'm now very looking forward to unlocking this trait personally for myself, so I can use it myself and see what it can really do. Lord, I'm going to enjoy this too much. Honestly, that results in this trait getting a 9 out of 10 for me. Though I might be a little bit biased in my love of the trait purely because I am a carrier fanboy. On the other side of things, let's talk about the actual carrier factors. Now, with this ship, you get a decent shuttlecraft, the Mirror Universe shuttlecraft, which gives itself phaser beam, omnidirectional phaser beam, and beam overload. Now, unfortunately, despite the Terran version firing Federation or Prime Universe versions of essentially sensor-linked phasers, you know, discovery phasers, that pulse effect, and looking like that, the actual weapon that it is firing is standard phasers, so has only the standard phaser effects, and that's it. Fine, whatever, I don't care, it's a basic ship. Surely the advanced version is different, yeah? Well, of course, the advanced version gets phaser beam, omnidirectional phaser beam, beam overload 2, and tractor beam 1, which is actually very useful for control boats and that. Even if you don't have 100% control over who they decide to track the beam, depends on how lucky you get. It is a very good way, however, of countering targetable torpedoes. They are very effective against such, and are actually relatively strong pets. Too bad they're still firing normal phasers. Come on, you could have at least had it firing the red pulses, just to give us a bit of a laugh on that. Now, if you have the Earhart, or you have this ship, you will gain access to the Advanced Class C shuttlecraft. This one is the Prime Universe version of the previous two, having the exact same phaser equipment and beam overload 2, or beam overload 1 if you have it standard, but instead of tractor beam it has aceton beam 1. So this is probably your better choice if you are literally focusing around radiation builds or exotic damage builds. This is probably a better choice pet, seeing as presumably you are making your enemies more vulnerable to radiation damage, and thus would be a helpful little pet to combine with that. Honestly, I'm a fan. I do think these are quite good. Yes, there are definitely better options than have been for a while, but they are good pets. As for the weapons in choice, well, the weapon you get with this ship is the Graviton Implosion Charge. As you can see, I have upgraded it to its max potential, but not re-engineered it. It can be re-engineered. If you do wish to re-engineer, you get the standards for the epic modifier, and for the singular modifier, which you can currently see is crit X. You also have crit damage, accuracy, and damage. For some reason, there's no crit hit, but neither here nor there. The Graviton Implosion Projector is an AoE pull and debuff with a heavy kinetic damage with a 360-degree arc. If you didn't know, in the same bundle we actually got a very, very similar weapon with the Defiant. Seeing as you'll probably be getting this ship, well, if you're not getting this ship in the bundle now, you must be mad, because how much do you want to spend? But we do have a very similar offensive weapon, but I don't know if you notice it there. This ship deals just shy of 13,000 kinetic, well, 14,000 kinetic damage in its complete power, whereas this one shies to 10 in a single burst. They do have their own differences. The main thing being here is that whereas the Adamants deals greater levels of damage on a straight up level, the Mirror Strike Ring has a better firing arc and has some extra little debuffs, better for a support build really. These debuffs being to pull the enemies together, or pulling enemies nearer to target, and a minus 25 to all damage resistances for 5 seconds, decreasing based on the distance from the target. So the target hit by this will get the minus 25, and your enemies that are pulled in, they will be a decreased level of this. What does this mean for the ship? Well, sorry, for the experimental weapon, well, it means whereas the new 10 repeating warhead that you get with the Adamant is more for your DPS players, this one is more for your support players. Not saying you don't want to use this on a DPS build. If you want to guarantee a better arc of fire, this is definitely an excellent choice. But honestly, this is more for support. However, let's also address the Earhart's, the Xenstor Earhart's weapon, which is weaker, but also has better advantages. In fact, in my opinion, actually is more preferable for me than even the Graviton Implosion that you get with the Mirror. But that's more because of the damage it deals. So, the Earhart, the original Xenstor ones, deals electrical DOT that spreads to nearby foes. Yes, see what it's doing here? Overall, it's able to deal greater DPS than, well, it is able to deal greater DPS than the Mirror Earhart's experimental weapon, and is actually on par with the Adamants, dealing 6,000 6,300 electrical damage for 10 seconds, over 10 seconds, sorry. And a disruption spreads to foes within 2.5 kilometers, causing 4,206 electrical damage for 10 seconds, over 10 seconds as well. Although it doesn't focus all the damage in on one enemy, its effectiveness and the fact that it is electrical damage and the second proc is exotic damage and therefore really easy to boost up in power, actually results in this experimental weapon, easily being able to outmatch the the mirror Earharts. With this in mind, and comparable to the adamants, my score for the Earhart's experimental weapon is pop. Are you ready for this? Still sitting very high at a good 8 out of 10. Yeah, I'm not gonna nick it down too much. Certainly it's got a bit of rivalry going on, but then a lot of these experimental weapons are pretty close balls, with only a couple really stretching out ahead of the rest. And honestly, I feel like the Graviton Implosion is one of the better ones, staying at the high end rather than being duped down into the low end. I do like this weapon a lot. I do like its ability to hit more targets. Yeah, I could see myself using it a fair few times. So far, that means Terran and Earhart has been doing the best with expendable weapons. The only other weapon I really like more than it is the railgun. Then again, that might be me being a bit too nice to the Cations. Okay, ignoring that, I'm getting sidetracked. Consoles. Okay, so the console you get with the Mirror Earhart is the Cascading Subatronic Disruptions, with a passive effect of plus 14.3 to Starship exotic particle generations and plus 1.9 to auxiliary power. This console immediately makes itself a choice console for those who like space wizardry, side DPS, and support builds just in the general. Its active effect is the Cascading Subatronic Disruption spreads electrical damage and resistance debuffs throughout enemies within a 135-degree arc to the primary target, dealing nearly 20,000 electrical damage. It also minuses 40 off of all damage resistance for 10 seconds. To up to 2 secondary targets, it will deal nearly 15,000 electrical damage with minus 20 all damage resistance for 10 seconds. And to up to 4 tertiary targets, it will finally deal almost 10,000 electrical damage with minus 10 to all damage resistance. For those that don't realise what this exactly means, it's hitting 7 targets. Up to 7 targets. Your primary target takes the bulk of the damage. Sorry, I've knocked away. Your primary target will take the bulk of the damage. Your secondary targets, 2 secondary targets, will take a decent amount. 4 tertiary targets will then take the equivalent of half, almost. And this ability counts as an exotic damage ability. Not only that, but as a result, that means you can boost it via exotic damage boosting, and even further over, works with exotic damage space traits and abilities. Space wizardry masterpiece. Really, this Cascading Subatronic Disruption console is beautifully powerful. Comparing it to the old Earhart classes from the Zen-Stores console, you'd almost be forgiven to think they were meant to be together. You see, The cascading gravimetric disruption, which I do find very funny, has this effect. It has a plus 11.4% to all direct energy weapon damage boosting, an excellent little proc there for passive, and plus 17.1 to Starship control expertise. Again, something for support players there, perfect for support players, making these two consoles complement each other really, really well. The cascading gravimetric disruption itself will spread kinetic damage and have a delayed pull within a 135-degree arc, the same as the subatomic. The cascading gravimetric disruption will deal almost 20,000 kinetic damage and apply a distortion spread to unaffected foes within 3 kilometers. This can repeat up to 5 times. After the final target is hit, it will deal 27,500 kinetic damage and pull all affected foes towards the explosion. Again, this is boostable via either kinetic damage boosting or exotic damage boosting, and to make things even better, thanks to these two complementing each other really well, they essentially work in reverse of each other. So you've got one that will bounce between targets, getting stronger until the final detonation to pull them all close together, at which point it makes a very good time to unleash subatomic disruptions to hit the primary target in the middle. If they haven't already been severely damaged, they 100% are coming out of this limping afterwards. Assuming you kept the same primary target both times, what you would have most likely ended up with is dealing about the same damage across the entire board. Result being is I have to give this cascading subatomic disruption a little bit of extra mark. Not because it's an absolutely amazing console, it is, but because it complements very well with a previous console from the same line of ships. I can't help but reward that. So as a result, I'm giving this console 9 out of 10. It would have originally gotten 7.5 out of 10 with me. Mostly because it's limited to space wizardry, so to speak, and support builds. Actually, no. Now that I think about it, no, 9.5 out of 10. So I'm giving it 9.5 out of 10 just purely because it complements so well, and actually I'm being a bit lowballing for it if it wasn't. This is a really good console, and I approve of it. I can see myself using this very frequently, on certain future support builds. All things in alignment. Let's take a quick look at customization options, shall we? Before we take the ship into action, because I can't forget about that. Oh, the fleet appears to have dismissed itself. So, the Mirror Earhart, a beautiful, beautiful ship. There are things I'd question about it, but you do get access to all of the other skins for this ship, unlike the other ones in this bundle, resulting in you also having the Earhart. Simply takes the prints off, let's be fair, can't complain. The Engle, and the Mirror Engle. Now, I kind of hoped that the Mirror Engle would have different components, much like the Terran Crossfield does, but I'm not going to complain too much. I do think this looks really nice on the ship. Not overly changing it too much, actually kind of complements the ship in my opinion. The black hull armor definitely looks better than the grey. And the fact that they've given us all these lovely skins that we can use. Terran Type 2. Terran Type 1. Anyone want to say what's wrong with these? Sorry. You got Terran Type 1 again on the Discovery options. Mirror Engle. Oh, it is pink. I didn't realise it was pink. No wonder that was We have Define, if you want to have a look at that on the ship. Ooh, no, very nice. Very, very nice. I think it complements the ship very well. All the Discovery versions can be thrown on if you wished. You now have the Galaxy added to it. I'm pretty sure that wasn't there before. Intrepid, NX, Sovereigns. Sovereign looks very nice on this ship. And hey, if you want to have a little bit of fun and be a bit more time specific, you could always go Engle and just throw on Type 0 and you're back in the TOS period. Maybe not perfectly, but it's trying, goddammit, it's trying. Oh, that hurts. Okay. Enough is enough. I will also state here that you do have access to the Walker Bridge and the Terran Crossfield Bridge. I am very happy to see that part. And as far as customization or further customization goes, you can modify out both the hull, which is interesting. The Stallions, really you get only 2 versions of that. I can't complain too much. Well, 3 versions of that. And the nacelles, depending on which emblem you want, is the only reason there is 4. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it could have just have been a little bit more. Okay. Enough is enough. Let's take her into action, shall we? Stick the mirror angle out, why not? Okay, so... First of all, hey look, Section 31, Terran. Second of all, you are going to die here. No, not you guys, the Gemini. Sorry, yeah, that probably didn't come out right. Wait, oh, there it is. And I just want to see what that just does. Ooh, watch it go. Oh wow, tertiaries went up again. So actually the first 2... Ah. So it can actually keep itself within just 3 targets, or 2 targets technically, if it bounces back and forwards. Similar to what this one does. So as you can see, when that one goes off, it gets stronger. Guys, are you going to do any damage to me, or am I just going to... Oh, look, you're finally scratching my hull. My shields are at minimum. What the hell are you doing? Go away! Boring me. All pets, engage and destroy. Watch them have some fun. Yee! You're gonna watch them now just disappear. These pets are actually reasonably strong in a fight. Oh. They're not that strong. I'm definitely going to see one of them go boom in a second. Oh, not before one of them go boom. Unexpected. Yes, unexpected indeed, and I'm not going to complain. I am very tempted to fire upon these guys. Hello there. Could you please just disappear now? Thank you. Hey, vaulting. Now, we're going to come after these guys, and the Garo class is going to, well, suffer, really. Nope, the fight is already heading in. They're like, we're going in for the kill! Let me just grab you a bit. Where do you think you're going? I think not. Die, Habati! Ooh. Substantial damage caused that time. Let's not have that same level of damage against this next target. Oh, they've all gone in again. Of course they have. Come on, guys, give me a chance to join in the fight. Yeah, let me wipe these ones out. This is just way too powerful, if I'm honest. And you can see down here the graviton. Sorry, yeah, I kept it held there. Oh no, what you're seeing there is So I just quickly fired it off. Give you a rough idea. what you're seeing here in my chat at the moment, that log, because I forgot to move it on, that is actually the unmodified ship. So this was when I was testing it. The ship wasn't modified at the time, no additional consoles, nothing. That was just that projector fired on its own, nothing to help it out. Good output, eh? Well, okay, I might have had a trait helping it out, but that would have been it. Yink! Yeah, can you see the difference now? 5 times stronger. So if any of you want to argue with me about this ship being not very powerful, I'll hear your arguments. I'll just sit here and wait. Yeah, I'm happy to have this argument with you guys. What do you reckon? Yeah, maybe, no? She's a beauty, isn't she? Okay, so final rundown. Let me just be quick, clear, and simple. First of all, this ship actually has more tanking capability than the original Earhart, though with less engineering consoles. The funny side of it is, if you X upgrade, you gain that engineering console back, but still have the other 2 that you've gained on the Earhart. You see the benefit there? Essentially, this, no matter what situation you take it in, you're 2 consoles up on this ship. Sorry, you're guaranteed 1 console up on this ship, and that is going to be one of its biggest benefits against the Xenstar Earhart. The experimental weapon is brilliant. The bonus powers really complement it. The turn rate is not being affected, it's just a slight change in inertia and impulse modifier. So you're a teeny bit slower, barely noticeably slower, shall I say. Overall, what we've got here in the Mirror Earhart is, well, the Mirror Engle, the Mirror Earhart, whichever one you want to call it, is a ship that was once a lockbox ship, now added into a Xenstar bundle. Admittedly, it's only acquirable with the bundle and not individually, but I guess that's fair, because if you was to suddenly make this available in Xenstar, it will upset a lot of players that had to gamble to get this ship, so I do understand that. However, I imagine it's going to be some upset anyway, because now this ship is a major steal. A lockbox, it was... Oh, out of lockbox ships, I'd have always said this was sort of mid-tier to high. Always a very good ship from the lockboxes, but obviously not the absolute best. However, still an expensive ship to acquire, which can now be acquired easily and with a huge amount of benefits right alongside it. Honestly, focus me. Honestly, for tanks, you can have a bit of fun with her. I wouldn't 100% recommend her to you, but she's a choice for fun, especially a bit of Space Barbie if you wish. And as a result, I will score her. I'm going to be fair with her, I think. I'm going to score her 7 out of 10. Just for the areas which she does well. Also, she's gained a bonus mark there thanks to her now being cheaper to acquire. As for support, well, support, she gets a very, very, very good score from me. As a result, I'm going to give her 8 out of 10. I'm edging towards 8.5 out of 10, and that's just purely because this ship has everything you need to render support in excellent ways. Easily able to draw some of the fire away from your allies. You can help out the tank a little bit. Heal boat really easily. Control or drain extremely easily. Exotic builds is an absolute masterpiece with this ship. She's a beauty for this. And everything you get with her supports support builds. So yeah. Actually, I'll edge a bit higher there. I'll say 9 out of 10 because she does help out support quite a lot. And she's an Escort. Not very often you get that from Escorts. Then we have her DPS potential. Now, obviously, she has decent science DPS potential. I've already alluded to this with her support abilities. Her side DPS, I will definitely rate in there. Thanks to Lieutenant Commander Temporal, I will rate in easily at 9 out of 10. Her DPS potential is equal to, if not superior, so I'm going to give that one 9 out of 10 as well. Final scoring then for DPS. Well, since clearly she can hybrid up a tiny bit, she's not really that good at it, but she has the allure to herself there. I will honestly let this ship go, and with a 9 out of 10 for DPS. Final overall score, well, in the past, it being a lockbox ship would have brought it down quite considerably, resulting in a ranking of only 7 out of 10 from me. Because she's a great ship, but expensive to acquire. However, now being part of a bundle and cheaper to acquire, that has boosted her up. But being part of such a good bundle, and they're making sure they put her into something which not only made it worthwhile buying her, because the bundle's price fits her costing game that already existed, but actually then gives you so much extra. Well, okay, let me put this blunt. The bundle right now costs £80 to get. At full price, it's around about 120. You get four Xen ships alongside this 5th ship in the bundle. This 5th ship would cost the average player between £100 and £300. I've already said this. Each of the Xen ships will cost the average player about £21 at full price. That means on sale at £80, you're already getting a bit of a steal. You're actually getting it for cheaper than those 4 Xen ships, but then you're also getting this ship and all the extra additions such as the Master Keys, the experimental upgrades, the Tier 6 coupons, so that's another Tier 6 ship, that's another £21 there. At full price for this bundle, keeping in mind what I've just said there, Tier 6 coupon is equal to a Tier 6 Xen ship, therefore that's a £21 coupon. With 4 £21 coupons, you reach £100, and the bundle itself costs at full price around £100 to £120. The moment you've thrown anything extra on with that, really, you've got a steal. But throwing this lockbox ship into it, and such a good one out of the lockbox as well, honestly, that has helped this ship out so much, and as a result, my final score on this ship is 9.8 out of 10. I'm not going to give it 10 out of 10. The only reason for that is because to get 10 out of 10, it must stand on its own and achieve that. And that's what stole the 10 out of 10 from it. The fact that it's not standing on its own to achieve that final 0.2. Well, I will give it 9.8. Because it is such a good ship in such a good bundle. Guys, sorry for that long-winded explanation of the final outcome of this ship. I hope you won't send your exclusive title Inquisitors after me. Especially if they're from the Star Wars universe. I do not need that. Honestly, guys, if you are looking into getting 2 or 3 of the new Terran ships, consider saving and buying the full bundle, because there's just so much benefit to doing so. It's an absolute steal. Definitely well worth the cost, in my opinion. and I've not been able to say this about Cryptic's bundles in a very, very long time. Not to this degree, at least. I'm so thankful, Cryptic, that you made this move, that made this change. Kind of wish you did it a bit sooner. Thank you so much, and hopefully you guys will enjoy what Cryptic does in the future. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I do thank you for watching all the way to the very end. It means a lot to me. I look forward to reading the comments section, so I hope you will comment below what your thoughts on this ship is, what your thoughts on the bundle are, whether you're getting it or not. I love the feedback I've had so far from the first 2 reviews done. Seriously, seeing those come back and seeing how happy people are with these ships has made me actually happier. If you wish to help out this video, please consider hitting that like button or sharing it on your favourite social media platforms, because that really makes an effect to YouTube's algorithm. And if you want more of this from me, then perhaps consider joining the ShadowStar crew by subscribing to the channel and ringing the notification bell. Finally, I said thank you to them at the beginning, but I must say thank you to them again. Honestly, the people that I can credit right now with financially supporting this channel, credited on screen right now, I couldn't be doing this without them. They've made this video and so many others possible. Thank you so much, and if you wish to join them, if you're not already one of them, the links are down in the description for means to do so. But by all means, you do not have to. Simply watching to the extent of the video and putting up with some of the adverts makes such a difference. Thank you, and until next time, long live the Empire. Ciao for now. Wait, I don't support the Empire. I support the sovereignty. Engage.